Hi everybody, welcome to Rime of the Frostmaidens with on D&D night on DDOstream, sponsored by Fantasy Grounds. Please feel free to check out fantasygrounds.com for your VTT needs, which is what we're using this evening. They are the #1 most supported VTT out there. All right, so where we last left was in a pile of white. As there was an avalanche which came down and smothered some people to a certain extent. Luckily, y'all's skills were managed to get you out without losing anyone. Before that, would anyone like to recap what was going on if they can recall? If they can't, that's okay. I remember.
We were heading up the mountain to find a shopkeeper's husband, I believe, and we were being led by his pack dog, who Mika has befriended.
Which I
That's
got
all.
my eye on because I don't trust him.
You don't trust
Shady
anybody.
dog.
That is true.
Hey, I mean, that's not an unreasonable thing up here in the Dale. Not trusting people, that is.
And we found all the other dogs, but they are behind us at the camp, so they didn't go through the avalanche.
Right.
Just us and Doggo, whose name I've now forgotten.
He was boy.
Boy. Okay. Huh.
Good boy.
Hyper complex naming. Clearly wasn't named by me. Alright, so during that you all have made a brief camp, a rest, as it were, under this ledge right next to the thing. Viorica has, as she's busy, as it is Easter, and I totally forgot, that she is currently inspecting a map, or excuse me, a scroll case that she has found, buried in the snow, like off to the side where you all are, and is trying to interpret what is in them.
Totally wait on her then.
Oh, she will be coming more or less on auto follow, if you will.
Uh-huh.
But we're all back up and healed and stuff, correct?
Yeah, you
As
all
far
have
as
had
I
a
remember.
short rest at the least, so you're in better shape. Let me see spells. Yeah, y'all are ready for continuing.
Yep.
Let's see.
Does boy still have the trail?
Yeah, he still is taking you down the trail that you're on.
Well, what with an avalanche going through it?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. The trail behind you is wrecked, but in front of you is still there. Okay. As you go along, you reach a steep, snow-covered incline dotted with jagged rocks. Lying face down in the snow, barely conscious, is a humanoid in blood-stained cold-weather clothing.
Does boy react?
Boy does in fact react as he moves ahead and sniffs out the person and then starts digging him out. He's not buried, but he is face down in the snow, and begins to regain some level of consciousness in reaction to boy.
Alright, well, I go take a look at him. Is he like injured, hit points, or is he just cold? Or
He is injured, and he appears to at least be some amount of exhaustion. He has He's armed. He has cold weather gear on and is a climbing kit.
Hey, Micah, can you light one of those fires, and we'll get some heat for this fella?
Yeah, I can do that. And I make a fire, a bonfire for all of us to gather around. And yeah, I can start that, and I'll grab some branches to make it a
Real.
natural one after, while I maintain it, so that
Okay.
I don't have to maintain hitting the spell over and over again. Until I have enough there.
Okay. Second.
So, yep, help boy dig out the person and see who it is.
Hey, Mr. Speaks with Animals. Is boy saying something like master, master, master?
Yes.
Yeah, I
There's
didn't
lots
need
of-
to cast a spell to see that.
Lots of face licking.
So, is he actually physically damaged or just cold damaged? Like, do we need to do some healing?
Yeah.
Hold on,
onto
there's
him?
someone's coming up against us. Incoming.
And to answer your question, yes, he's bloody.
And I jump up.
And apparently bait?
Probably. Ready yourselves. And do I actually see?
I will go ahead and
Oh, there it is.
drop the bear totem next to us.
Okay. Let me grab him.
Which map are we on?
We're
Alex?
not. This
Oh,
one's
okay.
Sort of a
unmapped. So
theater of the mind.
yeah, we'll handle
Don't
it mechanically.
we don't have that snow grid to use.
Well,
do.
Although if you double click on your token, which is the right hand portion on your character sheet, it should pop up to the generic combat map that he's been using.
Speaking of which, let me open up some of those tools for stream to see.
Yeah, ice and cold battle map.
Yeah, and the bow's out, and I'm gonna take a shot. If as soon as I see the whites of its eyes or know what it is.
Sure. Let me find out where I've put that map.
Hey, thanks about that double click thing. I'll probably forget again, but that's handy.
All right. So
Yeah, something new I learned about. So
here he is. Here.
Is Garrett Valarin the guy?
Yep.
Okay. Can somebody do healing on him?
There we go.
yeah.
Going into an initiative order, that's why the only reason I haven't said I will put healing on him. Because,
Don't want to put
Well,
that
wait,
there.
waiting for my
Well,
turn.
Yeah, when we were out of combat, anybody could have just said something. I was going to, but since somebody said, "Hey, somebody's coming in," I holding.
All right. Let's kick off some. Let's get some initiatives. Good news, because you had somebody who spotted them and told you. You all will not be worried about surprise. Okay. Alright, first up is this kitty. Just a second, I'll share an image.
Oh, he's so cute. Bad kitty.
Till he bites your face off.
Aw.
Bad kitty.
I was
I
gonna say
know.
claw
kitty.
your eyes out, but yeah.
Hey, just remember your house cats will eat you if you die.
It's true.
Oh yeah, cats are evil.
I love them, but yeah.
You know, I say cats are evil and people turn on me like I hate cats. I've never said I hated cats. I like cats just fine. I'm just saying they're evil.
That's a big cat.
Yeah, holy crap.
He's a big cat.
Meow.
Alright, it mums up and takes a swipe at Shadow in the Trees.
Aw.
Rude.
You invade his territory.
Cats always come for me. What is it with cats?
Are
They
you-
start
are you part
hissing at
dog?
each other.
No, but I'm allergic to cats.
And it knocks you down.
Oh, well, that's rude too.
Okay, let's see. Here's the damage. And because you're down, it gets a bite.
It's gonna attack me again. Yeah, that sounds right.
But you're able to twist out of the way to not get tasted.
Well, that's at least convenient.
Question.
Mhm.
There. Not that I want to cause any extra harm if I don't have to. But did the cat have advantage on the second strike?
Nope,
Because he was prone. And he should.
it's true. But I'm gonna pass it at this particular
For
time.
future reference.
Yeah. Also, I've opened them up so I can actually just throw the effect easier.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's what happened there. Alright.
Hey, Hen, you might want to move the kitty picture so you can see the battle map.
Oh, I thought I got rid of it. There we go. Alright, so there's that cat. Next is the other cat. There shouldn't be another extra cat. That cat doesn't exist. Shadow. You are prone with a cat on top of you. He's not
stand
holding
up.
you down, he's just above you.
Yeah, stand up, which is half my movement. And then I'm just gonna wait. Am I supposed to have temporary hit points from the bear totem?
Yes.
I don't think I had any. How many am I supposed to have from that?
The effect should be on. Should I drag an effect over
Let me
onto the combat
there.
tracker? I thought you were. That's why I didn't do it.
Mine shows that I have 8 already.
Maybe the.
I think that was from the previous
before?
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
I
only
think I
have-
also didn't get the advantage on my strength check for getting knocked down.
Let's see, so that means you have 1 left, because I think it's 8 minimum.
Should I go through the combat tracker and add the effect to people? The only reason I didn't is because I thought you had. To be clear.
I've done it.
Okay.
Now let me move people enough to put the effect back on, the actual effect.
How beefy, scary looking do these cats look?
I mean, they're huge, they're large cats.
Yeah, okay.
So, about at least 4 times your size.
Let's see. I'm gonna move 15 feet that way.
I've seen what house cats do to prey. I'm not comfortable right now.
Sure. I'm assuming it's gonna attack me for this.
It will definitely give it a shot. This one. It doesn't. I mean, it tries.
That's right. And then I'm gonna shoot my longbow at it.
Okay.
Well, that's highly disappointing. I think I'll end there.
Okay, yeah, well, I guess I'll move right here. Get out of their way. And
Don't miss the fact that there's one below us to the south. That's coming our
yeah.
way.
Okay. Whee. I just have one attack, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 3rd level. Okay. All right. That's me.
Kraanan then.
I will just go there and start off with a stab with the short sword. Actually, I have my bow in my hand, so I'm just going to kick it. Never mind.
Okay.
Well, actually, I could draw a short sword, can't I? Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I'll just punch it, kick it. And 15 is a hit. And should do sneak attack damage, hopefully. Excellent. And then my bonus action. And an 18 that hits. And hopefully no sneak attack, right?
Sneak attack only triggers once a turn. but
Correct.
gonna go
But
off
it's doing this
anyway.
automatic sneak
Yeah.
attack thing.
So I'll fix it.
Okay.
Maybe. Feel like it.
Yeah. 1 point. So. And are these like rocks on the map actually there, or is it just
Don't worry about them.
for show?
They're
Okay.
for show.
Then I'm just gonna move. Rest of my movement, I'm gonna move right there. And done.
Okay. He's going to stand up since he's right next to it, and he's just going to disengage for now. But he does draw his longbow as he moves. Like, pulls it out, gets it ready. Mika.
Well, I'm going to exercise that portion of the spellcasting rules that's important to know. Those times you can cast 2 spells in a turn. I'm going to use Healing Word on Garrett. You said he looked like he was hurt, so...
Yes, in fact.
So, pull him up on a combat tracker and drag the effect over. Is that right? There. Did that work?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yay. And for my other spell, which has to be a cantrip and takes an actual action, I'm going to use Create Bonfire underneath the kitty cat.
keen.
So,
Toss a save on it.
yep. This works much better if I had more than one monitor. I do not. All right. So the Cat Craig 16. Is
Yep.
that right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So cast the. Did it make it save?
It did not.
Oh, good.
You know, for cats, these things are surprisingly not so nimble.
Hey, they get to roll
It's all the
dice just like
fur.
everybody else.
Huh. I dragged the damage. Maybe if I just click it. Clicking it might work. Ah, okay.
I think you just damaged a whole bunch of other people.
Yep.
Of our people.
How did that happen?
They're still selected.
So
Oh.
targeted.
That's okay. I
I'm-
can fix most of it.
I'm sorry.
Ow!
Just trying to get the cat. I thought I only had the cat selected. Grumble.
It's fixed.
Okay. Did the cat take damage? Or did I damage everybody but the cat?
Everybody but the cat.
Everybody but the cat, but I got it. It's fine. I know what you rolled.
Okay.
There.
But then the damage was 0 for everybody else anyway. So
Yeah, but I didn't want to bleed off your temporary hit points either.
sure.
So,
See, the
So
cat was actually so nimble it hurt us instead.
but I believe that will be my turn because moving away at this point will not end well for me. So,
It worked for me.
You... Not. Don't roll that. I clicked the wrong thing.
Okay. I was gonna say.
There.
It's snowing.
It is, in fact. You can tell. You can probably hear it on the stream, for that matter. So, Micah, you noticed that when you cast that spell, the fire from the ground almost, like, it didn't go straight up and hit it like it should. It went up. It still got it, but it kind of wanted to bend around the cat.
that's weird.
Yep.
Good to know.
Okay.
We're doomed.
Marten.
All right. So it looks like that cat to the north is more or less being taken care of. So I'm going to go ahead and move down here. Let's just go right there. And then I will attack the southern cat with my spear.
Small point of order. Should Kraanan be next to a cat?
Why?
Didn't you punch a cat?
I did. Then I moved here to try to block it, the other one from getting
okay.
to us. But
I missed that. Sorry.
Garrett stepped in front of me. So
And it couldn't swing at him anyway, because he'd already used its reaction.
I missed that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You hit it.
Cool. Then
You poke a hole in it.
I'll do more than that. Because I am a Dread Ambusher, as part of my Ranger ability, at the start of your first turn of each combat, if you take the attack action on that turn, you make one additional weapon attack as part of that turn. So I'm going to attack it again with my spear. And it takes extra damage if this one hits.
definitely hit, so more damage happens. There you go.
And then, because I am a polearm master and I am using my spear, if I take an attack action and attack with it, I can do a bonus action by flipping it around and hitting it with the other end. So that's what I'm going to do. That missed. That will be my turn.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna buy real quick.
Fear the mighty spear fighters.
That firebolt goes right at Cragcat number 9 and then goes around it. Like, almost all the way around it. And that one misses. Boy is not on this map, and that's okay for right now. Doesn't have a turn, and back to Cragcat number 16. Claw over here. Misses. Shatter in the trees.
Oh man, I'm gonna shoot in the face.
Okay.
It ended its turn on the bonfire.
Oh, you're
Does
right.
it-
Throw the save on it, too.
Yeah. Just
Oh man, are you gonna steal my kill with a point of order?
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. Go ahead.
Probably
ahead.
not.
This is
Oh, he's gonna set up my kill. Oh, that's great. Good.
yeah.
Excellent.
Call it a
Okay, damage.
damage.
Let me just say there's a 1 in 8 chance that he accidentally seals your kill.
Yeah. It didn't. Oh, I guess I'll just click it. Why does it keep doing that?
You gotta
I've clicked
target people.
I'm clicked on the animal. I'm not clicked
You,
on
you have
anyone.
to you have to control left click to untarget and target people.
Or if your
it-
map's
it-
open and it has the controls up at the top, you can click the target with a slash to it, which is clear targets.
Okay. It's so annoying. It's like I didn't click. Grumble. Grr.
Like right now, you just have boy targeted.
Okay. I don't want boy targeted. How do I click? Oh, does it just clear the ones on the maps?
Yeah.
Ah. So, was it?
You can do
Control,
the same
which
control
click on
and
boy?
click on boy on the combat tracker.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which also begs the question: does Boy get a turn to attack the cat? I mean, he is a dog. It is a cat.
He does. I just didn't.
Um,
It will be extraneous at this point.
Do I need to re-roll that damage? Or?
Nope, I got it. I just dragged and
Okey-doke.
dropped it. All right, Shadow damage. You've got some.
Finishing shooting in the tree, shooting in the face.
You
Dead
in
kitty.
fact shoot it in the face. It does not recover. It slumps
That's why
over
arrows
to
are
its
more
side.
trustworthy than fire. I think I'm done.
Suzza.
But are they more trustworthy than fire arrows?
Okay. So I guess.
No one's given me fire arrows to play with yet.
And swing.
Hit.
I forgot to hex it again. Oh well.
You do some work. Kraanan.
running at it and going to drop kick it in the head.
Drop kick it or do a leg drop?
Ooh, a leg drop might be good, but I
See,
think it's too big for that.
If you're drop kicking it, that kind of implies to me that you like lift it up and drop it and kick it.
Oh, we'll see what the roll is. No, yeah, I tried and it didn't work. So this time I'm just gonna punch it.
I'm thinking, I'm going to drop kick it. No, wait. leg drop. No, wait. Oh, oh.
15's a hit. And there we go, 10 damage. And done.
Right. Garrett. After being healed, doesn't have to do things at disadvantage anymore. And puts a arrow in this one's ear. So he helped.
Excellent.
All right.
Now I spin around and look for more.
Okay. Let's see. You do not see any more crag cats. You do see markings of another creature. Let's see. Pull up another roll.
Yeah, I have survival too, if that'll help.
Yep, that's what's coming next.
Yep.
Apparently, you know exactly what it is.
Those are Yeti tracks.
Yeti.
Do I know what a Yeti is?
Yes.
Like friendly, hostile?
Hostile.
We
Hostile.
fought him before, I believe.
Not Yeti.
Oh.
Hey, what kind of mic are you using?
Thought we had.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna point. I'm gonna point out the tracks. There's Yeti tracks going out over this way.
Which will be backed up by Garrett, who, now that he's in better shape, will tell you he was trying to lead the Yeti. There was a Yeti. He was trying to lead it away from the rest of the party, and it caught him, but then got distracted.
Where is the rest of the party?
That's the question. Where is the rest of the party?
Well, we need to get him and bring him home, or at least down if we can. They're up the trail. I don't know what happened after I left, because I left, trying to take one of the Yetis with me. I can tell you one is Moniko.
One of the Yetis?
Yeah.
How many Yetis are there?
Well, there's definitely a Yeti. I believe there's more, just from the look of
Okay.
it. I didn't see others, but I know there's at least one, and signs of more. There's Moniko, Growling Bear, Anunnaki, or Anunnaki. He's a Goliath. He was out here. He was looking for Amanira Rock.
Gesundheit.
Which is some Goliath legend creature. Perlu Fishfinger, who's a halfling. She follows Yondala. And Asterix, who's a fiend-touched individual who was their magic user.
And you think the Yeti took them? Because we could follow these tracks.
Well, I hope not. I mean,
Leads
why I'm
back
down
to
here,
where they
was trying
were.
to get it
Let's
away.
take a look.
So I don't know what's befallen of them, because, well, you found me, which I appreciate.
Well, shall we go forward then, or do you need to retreat back to the dog camp? Garrett.
I mean, to be honest, I probably should go down to the dog camp, but I do want to make it back
Didn't
with any
we
of them.
send the dogs home?
No, we
No,
set them up in a little camp,
Oh,
little
right.
dog houses.
I think we left some food for him also. But no, we need him to lead us to the others because we don't know where they are. So, I mean, as much as he might need to or want to go down to the dog camp, I don't think we can. If he does, count the party lost because I doubt we'd make it in time.
Well, that's a good point. So is Garrett all healed up?
He is healed some. He's still hurt, and exhausted. But
Well, here, have a meat pie.
well, he'll be happy to take it and eat it. There's really only one trail up from here up that continues, and he'll describe it to you as best he can. It's a lot of narrow ledges and icy cliffs, but
Yeah, I think it'd be okay if he goes back to the dogs. I mean, there's kind of only one way to go.
Yeah, but do you trust him not to get killed again?
Yeah,
How far are we from where we left the dogs? It's not that super far, is it?
it's pretty far, and
Oh.
well, it's at least 500-ish
There,
feet.
there's also remnants of an avalanche in between here
No
and
way.
there.
That's true.
Yep.
Sending him off by himself would not be a good idea anyway. So if we send him back, we could send at least one other person with him,
We
and
could send Viorica with him.
that's kind of what I was thinking. But I think it's better that he stays with us. He doesn't necessarily have to do any fighting, and we don't have to necessarily go super fast to exacerbate his exhaustion condition. But I don't think it would be a good idea just to
Okay, yeah. Garrett, I guess it's up to you. You can continue forward with us. We'll protect you, or Viorica can escort you back to the dog camp.
Okay, well, I can show you the way. I can, not being, as long as we're not ambushed, I can probably keep myself hidden.
Okay. Let's do that then. We're a little hard to ambush, so not impossible.
Are
but
we?
a little.
Yeah, it's
don't
impossible.
say such things out loud, especially when the DM can hear you.
Oh, come on. We are practically an unsinkable ship.
Yeah, we're practically invincible. You run into a flock of rocks.
We're practically gods. I mean, it's great.
The irony is adding Garrett makes this a tiebreaker. That gives you all a tiebreaker for rolls.
Start heading up the trail
Okay.
in our snowshoes.
Nope. So, select OPCs.
Oh, boy.
Hey, it's slippery.
Yeah, we have
Ah.
snowshoes and stuff, if that's going to help.
I also have claws.
This is, in fact, a group check.
Santa?
Oh boy.
So, wait a minute, put that down.
Boo.
full stats.
Uh-oh.
This is going well.
We're not going to be ambushed. We're going to fall off the side of a mountain.
So what's your backup character?
Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Yeah, it takes an hour. You don't get that far. Let me pass out levels of exhaustion.
What, huh? Exhaustion, you say?
As y'all
And did we remember to
slip and
to
slide, fall.
retie ourselves together?
Well, we do now.
Mocked me when I actually suggested that last time.
Oh, we did it, and then the cat untied itself and ran.
I mean, I'd like to point out that y'all untied yourselves too, or at least retied yourself into smaller groups.
Yeah, I cut and ran.
Also, I'm starting to think that this is
So,
exhaust in the adventure pack.
kind of.
Oh, I've seen worse. Ever wander around the jungle?
At least in the jungle, you're generally warm.
Yeah, but you get
Turkish
bit-
bathhouse?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Exhaustion's exhaustion.
I'd rather be warm exhaustion than cold exhaustion.
Yeah,
Personally.
but you get malaria.
Same here.
Okay.
Malaria versus frostbite. I'm still picking warm.
Give me cold.
All right. So that's good, everybody, for the next hour.
I don't suppose we can be utilizing Martin's cold weather terrain stuff here.
I was just looking at that. It doesn't say anything about exhaustion. It just says difficult terrain doesn't slow our group's travel.
And let's see.
And if it's bad, you can just light me on fire. I don't care.
Well, we can look to see if there's a cave or something where we can rest.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right. At this point, Garrett's like, you all just go on without me, because he's getting extremely exhausted, and it's not helping.
How about we pause, take a rest before we continue forward, or some of us are going to start dying.
Well, that's why I was saying if we can find a cave or some other type of shelter would be the ideal thing, as opposed to just out here in the open. So I don't know if there's an outcropping or a crag or a cave or something.
Are there any trees?
There are
And I think you
virtually
said
no
we were
trees
above
at
the
this
tree
point.
line.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think you said we were above the tree line when the
Mhm.
avalanche hit.
Yeah, you can see him down.
So if there's not a cave or any type of sheltered area, I mean, we can effectively make an igloo.
All right. So I'm gonna let y'all rest if you want to. How long what are you shooting for?
For actual exhaustion levels, we're going to have to take at least
Which reminds me, I need to pass them out.
That's a
The-
long
the-
rest, isn't it?
yeah, like I said, we have to at least take a long rest. if not 2 at this point.
Well, the longer we rest, the more likely it is that the current lost party will die.
Acceptable losses.
It's not acceptable, but it's also not acceptable for all of us to die trying to get to them.
Agreed. I'm just wanting to point it out.
I am sad about that, but we have to do what we can and survive the process.
How far away does Garrett think we are from where the party was last seen?
We're not too far away. We just gotta get through all the cliffs.
Okay, so let me ask the DM, what does that translate into? 2 more checks, 3 more checks, 5 more checks?
One successful group check.
In other words, y'all need to stop sucking with the rolls.
Sorry.
Well, once you
That ain't
fail
gonna
one and
happen.
have disadvantage, it's kind of hard to keep going.
Exhaustion is a death spiral. Because once you start failing, you just keep failing, and then you die.
Yeah, I like the way that 5th edition handles exhaustion, except for how difficult it is to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So, is anybody still feeling pretty decent? Because what we could do is
Hello.
some of us make an igloo and sit here with Garrett, and some go forward and scout a little bit to see if they can find.
Well,
What's-
that's kind of what I was thinking as well. I'm okay. Looks like Shadow
I
in the
guess
Trees is
that's
okay.
you and me, huh?
Crannon's kind of sort of okay. You've got what? Just 1 level of exhaustion on you?
Yeah, just one.
Well, it's the first one's the one that hurts though, because that's
Yeah.
disadvantage on ability checks.
Uh-huh.
Understood.
Stealth. Just as a, for instance.
Let's just pack our parachutes and go up, and if we get in trouble, we'll just base jump.
Well, yeah, we should be able to build a shelter if we need to. A little weary about just the 2 of us, especially with Yeti running around.
Go take care of our light work. We'll rest up.
Yeah, just try to scout and not be seen. Don't like engage anything.
Okay.
And we will kind of make an igloo here and try and recover if we can a little bit.
Well, I mean, I suppose we can kind of do that.
I'm kind of feeling like a moving target is safer from the Yetis
Where
than a stationary one.
are
So
are
let's go.
Yeah, are the Yeti tracks still in the area?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to use my natural explorer ability to basically track the Yetis. And it basically says, while tracking other creatures, you also learn their exact number, their sizes, how long ago they passed through the area.
Okay. The exact number of them. What was the middle part?
Size and how long ago.
Okay. Large. So, and 2.5 for number.
Okay.
So mom, dad, and a baby.
Yep.
Or
Or
mom,
two of one.
or
yeah.
brothers, 2 brothers and a human food source.
Well, I suppose technically I'm not tracking the food source, though. So
That's who you're all trying to rescue.
right, and then how long ago?
The last tracks are of 1 and about a day.
Well, what do you think, Shadow? You want to try to just not necessarily go rescue them ourselves, but we can at least go a little exploring if you want, and head back, report.
Sure.
Okay. So, Shadow and Marten.
Sounds
Yeah.
right.
So head on a swivel. Be looking for any other signs of Yeti. Fresh signs of Yeti. Well, and I suppose technically
that's
anything else
disappointing.
that might be living up here. But...
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. Marten's 20 is gonna, instead of this just being a tie, I'm gonna move it to a success on behalf of that.
Way to go, Marten.
It still wears Shadow out, but you all get up to the next part, so you all are ahead. All right. As you make your way up, you re-find what is surely the trail. After all the windy bits, and on it you've come upon. Up upon your left is a 15-foot high, 10-foot wide cave mouth, and there's blood on the snow some distance from the cave entrance.
Yeah, great.
And you're not surprised that there's Yeti tracks about, at a higher density than before.
Yeah.
Does it make sense for us to like tie a rope around so that, and then go back down to the party so that we can easily get up here instead of having to roll athletics checks?
Well, it'll give you
Like
advantage,
using
which
climbing gear?
negates
Yeah.
disadvantage. So it lets you make regular rolls.
Yeah, let's do that. But yeah, I did not want to go into that cave. Let's head back. So yeah, let's,
You don't want to like go up to the cave and go, hello,
Anybody home?
not especially.
pizza delivery.
Death calling.
Land shark.
So yeah, we'll tie a rope, use the rope to go back down, and finish resting with everybody else, I guess.
Okay. So, let's see.
Meanwhile, we have constructed a rudimentary igloo with a bonfire in it.
I don't mean to disparage igloos, but is rudimentary igloo kind of like a redundant?
Have you ever watched a video of somebody making an igloo? It's really actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, it
That-
is.
that-
I
Nook of the
think I
North.
have like long in the past. I'm just like not. I don't think of an igloo as like.
I mean,
What's the difference between a rudimentary igloo and a fancy igloo? I'm intrigued.
Size.
Does the fancy igloo have cable TV?
it has an arched ceiling made from interlocking blocks of semi-hardened snow, whereas we just sort of dug into the snow.
Okay. See, that would have did a group check, which you passed as a group, to be able to rest without succumbing to anything.
Hooray!
Now, let's see if it removed any of those levels of exhaustion. It didn't, so I will do that while you all discuss your plans.
Okay,
Use rope, climb mountain, attack scary looking cave in force.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say we found a cave. There's kind of blood at the entrance. So there's kind of two scenarios that I see. Either the party took shelter in the cave, and or the cave is the Yeti den, and they were dragged into the cave.
Was Marten able to glean some difference of those two options based on the tracks and or blood splatters?
Um,
Actually, do I have survival? I might actually have survival. Hey, look, I do. Was I able to determine that?
let's see. Yeah, let's grab some people. Why is Mika showing up red? What? All right. So. Not so much. You're still pretty sure the numbers are right though.
We didn't take a really good look at the cave entrance. We just said, yep, okay, let's get back.
Yep, that's a bunch of blood.
Is it possible to set a trap or an ambush or something so if they come out, we get them?
I don't know. Do you have a trap in your inventory?
Also, how do we know they'll come out?
Well,
they
if
got-
someone
they-
stands at the entrance.
They have lunch already.
I mean, everyone answers the door for the pizza delivery guy.
Well, that's true.
We're
Maybe,
not in Waterdeep. We don't have those here.
I mean, frozen pizza's a thing. Maybe they deliver frozen pizza up here.
No.
we have frozen pies.
In fact,
I
you
guess-
do have frozen pies, all of you.
I guess we could ask Boy to bark and bark and bark until they get sick of it and come out.
I'll go in.
What? No. Have the dog bark and then let them come to us. And hopefully one at a time. That would be the plan.
We don't want them to kill any people that are still alive in there.
I mean, are Yetis like these super intelligent, conniving creatures?
I'm not sure how much I would know, honestly.
Well, let's find
I know
out.
quite a bit about them.
But that's
Like,
why if
There's
if
a way
dog
to find
if
out.
if Boy barks, they won't be suspicious because dogs bark.
Why am I making a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, I have no idea.
I think that was
From
left over
before.
because you hadn't rolled it from before.
Oh, okay.
It still worked out.
Yeah. That's good.
Is anybody proficient with nature? Do a nature check on Yetis?
I should be. Yeah. Let me double check.
Man, if he's not, we're definitely sending him in first. We need a new druid. Druid's not proficient with nature. Get a new one.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, dropped a 20.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're too cold
This-
to really dredge up what
Yeah.
you know stuff, but it's just not coming right now. And Marten,
hit a
you know a
16
little
though.
more.
So they're big and furry and smell bad on the outside.
let's-
Yeah, but they're basically still animals, so basically they don't necessarily take prisoners for torture or anything like that. It's food. So if they're inside, we have them. If we do something to try to get them outside, they shouldn't be attacking what the prisoners that they have because their prisoners are food.
So Yeti
Assuming I know Yeti
Is-
correctly.
Is
Yeti come in
anybody
two
in our
flavors. Bad and way worse.
Oh, I vote for bad then.
is anyone in our party an aspiring dentist?
All right.
No.
What?
They
I
can.
was wondering if anyone was gonna get that
Off the
reference.
red-nosed reindeer reference. Come on.
Yes.
Try to keep up here.
But one of the things you
Thank
do
you,
remember
Marten, for picking that up.
is they can freeze a person in place with a stare.
Well, that
Among
sounds awkward.
all the, eating and such.
Clarifying question: when you say freeze, like you stand there in terror, or you turn into a block of ice?
Your mileage may vary depending on the stories that you've heard.
Uh-huh.
So you're basically trying to make them furry gorgons, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I say we go with the boy barking plan. See what happens.
Or maybe we can send sneaky people in shadow entries, see if he can't quietly find them.
I mean, I was planning on hiding behind the meat shields and shooting the crap out of them, but
So, are you all going to try to get back up without?
we should
I
probably
know.
start by
more,
getting back up.
Or basically, you're going to rest more to remove more levels of exhaustion for those that have them. Or are you going to
Well,
try?
who's got how many levels of exhaustion?
I still have one.
Garrett still has 2.
I have.
We're not expecting Garrett to be like combat ready worthy though, are we?
No, and he could basically.
No,
stay
Garrett
here.
can stay here.
If we've had a long rest, I should be at 1 level of exhaustion still.
Yeah,
'Cause
you
if,
are. It's. I think it's me and Micah. But it's not that far ahead, right? How far ahead was the cave from here?
One more check.
Okay.
But we left a rope, so
Okay.
But
But
he also said he would give us advantage, so those with the
Right.
level of exhaustion, it would cancel your disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to try it, and if I hit another one, I will just come back and hang with Garrett.
Yeah, I'm willing to go ahead. The longer we wait, the greater the chance that
They're already eaten.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so Garrett, you want to stay here, but can we take Boy with us?
Boy's not going anywhere without his person.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Hey, I
Okay.
rolled a 20.
Even
Well,
with
that's-
disadvantage, I got a 17. So
I
So-
athleted the crap out of that roll.
It looks like only one person failed.
Yep.
on the bright side, the one person who failed doesn't have any levels of exhaustion, so
This is true. Unfortunately, since it's a group check, still doesn't.
no, he's still giving us exhaustion, so
pardon me.
Okay. But you've made it. You'll cross the obstacles necessary to get back up to where the frozen cave is.
Okay. And Boy didn't come with us, so we gotta do the other plan, I guess.
Can you bark like a dog? Can any of us
What?
bark
I mean,
like a dog?
Micah can turn into a dog.
But they're not necessarily in the cave.
Okay, whatever. We can sneak in.
But let me take a look around, see if I can determine if there's any fresh tracks, the freshest set of tracks, if they're leading out of the cave or into the cave or what.
I'll help you with that.
Yep, I will too.
What would you like me to roll, if anything?
I just threw a survival check in the tower.
Okay. I'm sorry, I totally missed what you were looking for. I was
The
We're
new,
looking-
studying the tracks more.
okay.
We're looking at the
get a
Yeti
more-
There,
tracks,
there are one fresh adult tracks is out,
going into or coming out of.
going out of.
Okay, so one adult out. Okay. Do you see any signs of tracks going in?
None that are recent. Like, none of the past day, anyway.
I would still rather try to send a sneaky person in to see what he can see before we all go in there, but I suppose we can
Yeah.
all go in there.
Well, no. I mean, the three of us could sneak right in.
Or I could just call for them to come out.
Well, my point is if the Yetis are not in, but the party is in, maybe we can get them out before the Yeti return.
Uh,
I mean,
well,
our alternate is to go ahead and go in and try to kill all the Yeti and basically just take over their cave as a resting spot.
If you think you have the capability to sneak in and out again, please do. But I thought we were all a bit haggard, and that might be risky.
Well, that's true, and the wind is starting to pick up.
I'm fine. I could sneak in, no problem.
The wind is definitely picking up. Let's get inside the cave. We'll deal with the fight if there is one, and if there isn't, we'll prepare for a fight that comes back after us.
All right.
Alright. Hooray!
So we all head in. I will say,
I have dark vision and no exhaustion, so I can sneak ahead a little bit.
I have dark vision out to 90 feet.
That's pretty impressive.
I had 60 as a shifter, and then with the Gloomstalker, it gave me an additional 30.
But the more important part about that though is like I don't have disadvantage on stealth checks at the moment.
True.
Okay.
But I can still see. I just want to say, hey, I can see 90 feet, not just 60 feet. So if something's coming from 90 feet, I can say so. Also, have umbral sight, so I can see invisible.
Well, aren't you fancy? Also, if there's
Thought that
invisible
way, maybe.
Yetis, I'm running away.
Grimstalker Rangers are amazing.
Hell, man, might need to multi-class to that too.
You're just getting kind of absurd.
Yes.
Everybody
totally.
else gets up to level 20. And what level are you? 3? In like everything?
Totally. I'll take a level in every class. I don't care. Well, the ones I qualify for. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me check.
All right.
Okay. Just for completeness here, I am also adept at evading creatures that rely on dark vision. So while in darkness, I am invisible to creatures that rely on dark vision to see me.
Wow.
Yep. It's good times.
Nifty. Yeah.
So I was wrong. I don't actually see invisible, but I basically am invisible to those who depend on dark vision to see me.
Yeah. Your dark vision doesn't work against you. Pretty much, right?
Sounds kind of better, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just kind of sneaky up in front of the group a little bit.
I'll go with you. Unless you want to go alone.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold back and just try and unfreeze for a few minutes.
I'll let you two sneak and see what you can perceive.
Be sure to call out for help. That way we'll be able to find your body.
Sure, there will be screams of terror.
Okay, good.
Anyone in the back who wants to reorganize yourselves, feel free to do so.
Do you want me to keep rolling stealth checks, or just?
I'll let you know
Okay.
as necessary. Sure. Hang on there. Whoop.
All right.
Okay, so to your
I found bones.
left is an ice sheet that bridges that chasm.
It looks kind of cracked. Is this picture an accurate
It's a
depiction?
foot thick sheet of ice.
Neat.
That's gonna be a nope for me.
It's not currently cracked. It's just how the plates on it are uneven.
I don't recall a foot of ice being particularly durable.
Foot's pretty solid, right?
Foot's pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm not good on that.
I mean,
A
it's
foot
not
of-
as solid as it would be if there was water underneath it pushing it up from buoyancy,
Yeah.
but
But yeah, a foot
Also,
of ice is still pretty
apparently-
good.
It's also apparently not a solid sheet of ice as much as it is layers of ice.
Yeah. That's could be a problem.
Could be.
Uh,
let's see.
No,
Yeah.
we can cross it no problem. We'll just be like a leaf on the wind.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It didn't work out so well for that guy.
Just don't end the same way. All right. As you get into this room, let's see. The tunnel goes down to about 10 feet high. It was twice as high, where the sheet of ice and the gaping holes are. Chasms.
Neat. So about these bones.
All right. So, let's see. What kind of skill would that even be?
And just
We'll
for
start with
bookkeeping,
this one.
I am keeping an eye out as far as what might be going on at the entrance of the cave.
So, do you want to play cards?
Sure.
Yeah, we could just play.
They're definitely humanoid. These bones. Let's see.
Are they recent?
Yeah.
Neat.
And then let's see. I'll
Collect
give
some?
both of you
yeah, I'll move up too to look at them.
perception.
Oops.
So just remember standing rule number 1 when it comes to adventuring is if you come across a pile of what you think were dead adventurers, check the loot.
Okay, so, kind of these are Goliath bones. And,
Oh, excellent.
Shadow in the trees, you notice a few things. You can point out the bits of hide armor on the limbs.
By the way you
there's-
say bits, I'm assuming it's not scavengeable.
No. The great axe is. It's over there. And then there's 7 accrued niches. Yeah. Niches in the wall with the frozen heads of humanoids.
How many was in that party we were coming after?
4.
Do any of the frozen heads look like what the descriptions we've been given about the missing adventurers?
Yes. And some
All of
that
them?
are still recognizable
it a-
that aren't. There's 2 dwarven ones that don't seem to be, and but they still have their skin attached.
Based
and-
on the skulls that are identifiable as the party, is there any party to still be searching for?
Yes. Of the members of the party, there's definitely one is interred in here.
Oh, just one of the heads is from this party?
The warrior, the Goliath.
Yeah, I didn't like him anyways.
Yeah, you never met him.
Well, take
It's-
the great axe.
How about we go back and get everyone else before we start looting stuff?
That would be an option, but I'm going to pick up the great axe.
Viorica with us?
Yeah.
Can't remember. Does she have the message spell?
Let me check.
She's
believe
back
so.
with the rest of the party, though.
Yeah, I was just wondering if she would ever, check in and see how we were doing.
She does
No
have the
screaming.
message
We're doing
spell.
good so far.
Are you there yet? Are you there yet?
Pretty much.
I believe message requires line of sight. So she
Nope,
has-
it does not.
I think it requires it to cast it, but after that, you're good, right?
No. You can cast it through walls around
Yeah.
corners as long as you know the
Yeah.
creature is
You can
there.
cast this spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it is beyond the barrier.
Yep.
So it's that you have to point your finger towards a creature within range. So she does to point in your direction, but it can do it through. Okay. All right. Yeah. So she can message you.
Yeah. So if she does, I'm gonna let her know that it's all
is it
clear
two-way
up
communication,
to
or is it
here.
just a one-way communication? Because some of those are only one-way.
You can
It's
respond.
two-way. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's two-way. She's already used it that way.
So we found dead people. So come on up and help us out.
Okay.
Do I
She
need to add a great
plays-
axe to my inventory, or are you going to put it in the party stash?
It
or-
is in the party sheet.
Cool.
It's okay, Fantasy Grants. Let me click the button.
Button. Who got the button?
All right. Well, Suzza, it's a grizzly trophy room full of grizzly trophies.
Gross.
Didn't
Yep.
say anything about grizzly bears.
Two dwarf heads that are not recognized but are recognizable. A few other skulls.
So, here's the question.
I don't know why my character shot off into the dark there. That was
Okay.
some
Do
sort
we
of
want
error.
to? Do we want to take the recognizable heads back with us into town to just say we found these guys, so whoever's looking for them, they're dead?
It's gross, but yeah, I
do we
guess
leave,
so.
do we leave them here?
Let's decide after we have cleared the cave.
That is also a good point.
I'm assuming these black areas on the map are either upper areas, or is it like sea? Are there like plateaus or places to stand up there, or
There's more area above, yes, or above. On
Is
the
anyone
map.
going to be upset if I at
there.
least temporarily claim this great axe for my own weapon collection?
any
No.
way to see what's up there from here?
There's. Let's see. There, as you move, there is more that you can see as you get closer.
I'm gonna move around the edge here.
Wait a minute. You want to tie it off together before you start crossing cracked ice?
That's a good point. Although I've crossed the cracked ice.
I see that.
But yes, we probably should have tied off first. That's a good point. I'm tired.
It complained, but it didn't break or crack.
Yeah, like throw a rope back.
Yeah, I'll throw a rope back.
Did they see anything else in that room, or is there more of that room that they can look at? Or
I am going to move forward a little bit just so I can see in a bit better.
Which room are you asking about, Martin?
what room you guys are at? Because it kind of looks like that cave. The
Yeah.
trophy cave looks pretty. That there's not much there. It looks like
That
maybe
does
they
continue.
pretty much did, or okay.
I found a staircase going up.
Yeah, don't go too far.
I won't. I think I'll just rest here. If that's okay.
All right.
Or not. That's also possible.
I'm still sneaky.
Okay.
I don't know if you want a new roll.
Yes,
Yes.
make me a new roll so I can also make some rolls.
And I was going to sneak right behind him.
You know,
Somewhere.
it's
Whatever.
not really hard for me to roleplay being tired right now. So
Well, Shadow,
Hard save.
I have a
That doesn't
suspicion.
sound good. Did I roll a 1?
Well, let's see. That notices you, and
is anybody else here a marching band?
that notices you.
That's very weird.
Quiet as I move.
Quiet as a mouse.
And conveniently, that one also recognizes you.
That was a lot of recognition.
Yep.
I'm not sure if I'm ready for this kind of popularity.
I
The real
believe, in
question
fact,
is-
you knocked a scattering of bones down the ramp stair-like area in front of you, down them. And they clatter and.
I'm gonna look
spark.
incredulously at Kraanan.
Supposed to be quiet.
I believe the phrase is "full of a toque."
That's what I was thinking.
Found the Yeti.
More importantly, did he find you?
I just kicked bones in his general direction. I'm pretty sure the answer is yes.
A Yeti tyke. Aw.
So, important question.
Uh-huh.
Who all here has backup characters again? Just checking.
Ye of little faith.
So, what you see, Shadow, is I'm gonna change their position because their position doesn't make good sense for this to me. So that's better. Is you see the Yeti tyke turn around and it's holding a ball. And then you realize that's not quite a ball. That's a rolled up halfling.
Clarification. How big is a Yeti tyke?
Let's see. It's medium. So it's about you-sized.
But it's holding a halfling. So that's pretty impressive.
It's, not
It's a
Sergeant
balled
Woozle,
up
is it?
halfling.
Oh my god, is it Sergeant Woozle? That would be terrible.
When you say balled up,
Uh-huh.
can you be more specific?
I can.
Fetal position?
Yes.
Like, is it in a like curled up in a ball like a person curls up in a ball, or is it curled up in a ball like something broke all its limbs and rolled it into a ball?
It is the former.
Okay.
As it so happens.
Yeah.
It has not become the latter yet.
Just important distinction given the circumstance.
So Mama Yeti is teaching Baby Yeti how to play with its food, apparently.
Alright, so.
Some well-placed cuts, and you can disassemble somebody pretty easily.
It's not totally shocking that you know that.
I mean, nothing.
Alright, Shadow.
Oh boy.
Well, you're the first to realize what's happened.
Yeah. That seems appropriate. Well, I'm gonna shoot the Yetis.
Okay.
Because that seems like a good place to start.
You can always put the halfling out of its misery.
we're trying to save
I
the
mean-
halfling if we can.
It
Oh.
could, but choices. What do you guys think? Should I shoot the big one or the little one?
Well,
If you shoot the little one, the big one's gonna be real angry.
Yeah, like the big one's not going to be angry with me right now. All right, I'll shoot the big one.
unless you want to try and have Micah speak to him, but too late.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming the Yeti is kind of hostile to me at this point. Like, or is it?
Well, it definitely is now.
There we go. Apply those. All right. You
Mr.
hit.
GM is that? Well, I was clarifying that I just kind of assumed that the Yetis were now looking at me with tasty and hostile intent.
Definitely hostile intent.
Great, shooting. Ooh,
Well, you hit it.
disappointing. I pissed it off. I didn't hit it.
You think your arrow got tangled up in a mat of fur on its way in.
Yeah, that sounds plausible. So, action surge, shoot again.
Okay. Hit again.
Excellent. What's more damage? Excellent. And then I'm going to gallantly move in the backwards direction. Let's
Run
see.
away!
Oh, I wasn't done moving. That was 15. No, I don't remember how many I moved. 15, 20, 25. Yeah. That works.
That's about 30, isn't it?
Something like that.
Okay, Micah.
I'm going to save my afterburners for when things go poorly and I need to run away faster.
I'm going to suggest, well, no, it's Micah's turn, but I'm going to see if he wanted to come back at least one square.
I'm going to assume you just walked around as opposed to leaping the pit. Micah?
It's probably muted.
Sorry, my bad. I was like, why is it? Oh, okay, that's why. I'm muted. My bad. I didn't need to be.
For future reference too, Micah, you can move yourself and then pick up your token and move yourself again to kind of indicate the pathing you want to take.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you lay down waypoints like that?
You move your token to one spot and then just pick it up again.
And move it to the next.
But
Unless your DM
you have to do it before the DM approves it, or it all goes away.
Okay. Well, in that case, I am going to use my action to move as well.
So you're dashing.
Yep. I'm going to stop there, though. And I'll use my bonus action to drop the bear next to me. So, do I just drag the bear character to the
Let's see.
board?
Yep. Here, I'll do it. 'Cause you
Okay.
can't.
All right, that appears to be my turn.
Okay, let me grab everybody real quick. Let me just, whatever.
I'll make sure I'm not targeting anybody just by existing.
the Yeti. Yeti mama, as it were. It's gonna move up here. Roars something terrible. Like, the cave doesn't shake, but it feels like it should have. And then it holds its action.
That's not good.
Taking this opportunity, this halfling disengages.
Our direction?
Pardon?
Does he disengage in our direction?
Well, there's no one there to see it.
Okay, but he still gets his full movement, or does he not?
She cannot make her full movement.
Yeah, she's at exhaustion 3.
Okay. Let's see. So, let's see. I'm gonna do it this way. Alright. The tyke hides. Marten.
Okay. I'm going to step over next to this ice bridge here and keeping an eye out on what's going on, behind me as well as in front of me, both directions. I want to try to inspect that ice. How difficult does it look like to break it?
It's definitely breakable. 1 second.
So I think I could do it with a couple of chops with my hand axe.
Maybe. It'd be more than one. It'd be more than a couple, but a cumulative amount of damage could do it.
Okay, how many rounds do I think?
A little more. It's got a little more hit points than you do. Let's see.
All right. Humana.
I also turned you up a little.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking. I think I'm going to ready in action.
Okay.
So if I see a hostile creature come down on the other side of this ice bridge where I can see them, I will shoot them with my bow.
Okay.
And then that will be my turn.
Kraanan. Then.
Alrighty then. Shadow didn't actually say anything, did he?
Nope.
He said, Yeti.
I found the Yeti.
Okay, well then I'm gonna.
I don't know if he said anything about the halfling or not.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a step forward. Oh,
And
hi.
I'm gonna take a ready to action.
See, I think I could have gone lateral myself, but
Alex, the map is
Ooh.
over. You need to move it over to the right so you can see the,
Yes.
or up rather.
Right.
Mhm.
Correct. Just a second. So unfortunately, yeah, you failed that save.
Oh, wait. What did he do to me?
It
I just
stared
failed
with
to
you.
save.
It stared at you with its chilling gaze.
Oh, excellent.
And you are, in quotes, frozen in place.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll just sit here for a while. Holy crap.
And you see, as you come to a utter stop, you can see the hoarfrost forming on your limbs.
And I suppose I can't move or anything, huh?
Right.
Okay, I'm done.
On the upside, if you survive, you can answer the age-old question: is it cold or just regular old paralysis?
Yeah.
If you were frozen,
This is fine. This is fine. This is
I'm
fine.
good. I'm good. I'll survive this. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
it's
just checking.
we'll just have Viorica throw some fire on him and thaw him out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not over, Yeti.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
again. It's
Yes, very punny.
abominable.
Ugh, I have a Yeti sitting right here on the table next to me.
Okay, can I tell that Kraanan just got frozen?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
I think this whole line of jokes is kind of cold, though.
It is. Okay. I'm gonna move up. Can I tell now?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to try and yank him back.
Okay. Just make me a strength check.
Strength check.
With advantage.
Yes, with advantage.
With advantage. Strength. What do I roll for a strength check?
On
Just
your
the save or?
there should be. Let me grab your sheet so I can tell exactly where. So, where it's you just pick up the ability on the other side.
Okay.
Drop it as a dice.
Do you want it in the tower or?
No, you can. It can be in the. There you go. With advantage. You did it because it nullified the disadvantage from otherwise. You knock him over.
Whoops. Okay.
Like you've got him in your hands. You just couldn't move him yet.
Okay. Well, I'll keep
Do
trying
any
to drag.
pieces fall off?
No.
Do not break off my beard.
Sorry, man. Look ahead. So I guess that's my turn.
Okay, Viorica.
And now Suzza shrieking, he's frozen.
Okay, she's gonna hold an action.
Okay.
Shadow.
Well, this is getting exciting. Oh. They're not pulling back far enough. So there's a big Yeti and a little Yeti, and a halfling. Let's say that for now. And let's see, what's the angle look like from there? So I'm gonna ready an action to shoot any Yetis that come into my field of vision from either direction with arrows.
Okay. It comes into your field of vision. Yeti, you're shooting it. Okay.
Yep.
Specifically with arrows.
Yes. Unless I have other options. Do I have other options? That'd be cool if I did.
I don't know. Spitballs?
And not that guy
Throw
named
the great
Yeti
axe at
that
him?
runs the surf shop down in town.
For some reason, it's not checking off my arrows. That's interesting. Yeah, and I will also note that I have sharpshooting, so shooting through the wall towards Kraanan should not be an issue.
Right. Mika.
I am still a little bit punch drunk tired. So let's see if we can maybe interrupt the Yeti's concentration. Oh. It's a little closer than I thought. Okay.
Howdy.
Oh, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's interrupt its concentration. I'm going to cast Moonbeam.
Okay. I'm just going to presume you're going to put it in its square.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you want to mark that off, and I will cast it on the... Where'd it go? I clicked on it, and it disappeared.
The stairs might be acting as terrain or something? That's weird.
Yes, they do. So you
Okay.
that work?
Yeah, I can see it now.
That's what happened. Yeah, it acts as a door.
That's super weird. Okay.
You're not wrong. It makes it save, so
Does it-
half damage.
Does it take it now or on the start of its turn? Which I guess would be next.
We're resolving it now, and I'll just continue on.
Okay. It's not a bad amount of damage.
No?
And I suspect it's not resistant to radiant damage.
Nope.
It's not a shapeshifter, is it?
Sadly not. It's a Yeti.
Yeah.
Mimic.
Remember, kids, bring a druid to go fight your vampires. They have a harder time running away. Oh, you turn into a cloud of mist? No, you don't.
I don't know how much you want to try to stay up there, but it's going to be harder for the rest of us to help.
I was more acting out of the moment to try and draw attention away from my friend who was frozen, so that yeah, they wouldn't be able to just have attacks on him with impunity. So,
Well, I was kind of wondering why Suzza just didn't pick him up and run him back, but that's okay.
Well, that's what I tried to do.
Yeah, she attempted.
It's exactly what I tried to do.
Yeah, and we're still wondering why she didn't do it.
yeah.
Right.
It's the party's dump status strength is why.
I'm just so tired.
Yep.
He's very heavy. He had a lot of donuts.
Well, we did have a big breakfast.
Yeah.
Anything else?
So, and for the record, I am currently working on my backup character, just in case.
Pasture.
Hide
That's your turn.
behind the
Just in
pile of
case,
dead
that's his name? Cool.
Yeah, his name's Justin. Sir Justin of Case.
Is that your turn, McCoy?
Oh yeah, that's my turn. Sorry, I forgot to hit the button, didn't I? My bad.
Okay. Moonbeam, and which we resolved already once this turn. All right. So, Mika, have a good look. Okay. Good news. You saved, so you are not paralyzed.
How you like them apples? Also learning that they can do that more than once. That's a thing
Yes.
that I was unaware of.
And you are immune to it since you've made the save for the next hour.
Oh, good.
At least against
Well, that'll
regular Yetis. And then it gets attacked as well.
Knowing our luck, we'll run into a Yeti Lich while we're wandering. Sorry, Kraanan.
Oh shit! It's attacking me again.
Yeah.
Yes, because you're paralyzed.
Okay.
And when you're paralyzed, it's all crits
Yep.
Yeah,
within
I'm
5
out.
feet. So
I'll be unconscious though.
one of these.
Isn't he also technically prone?
Yeah, because
Yep.
I yanked him
Not
down.
yet.
Sorry.
It doesn't matter. It's a crit anyways. It makes no difference. So yeah,
Yeah.
I am unconscious.
Well, that should make him easier to drag out of the way.
That's one way to look at things.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Clarifying question: did he have his 8 temporary hit points?
Oh
He
yeah,
had
burn
them,
through those.
but the gaze ate him.
Oh, okay. Oh, the gaze did damage too.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it slashes at Mika
Of course it does.
with its off claw. You could have prone.
Let's see. Moonbeam is currently a concentration, right?
Yep. So make me
Theoretically on my
con save.
next turn. Yeah. I was just thinking.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't automatically do that? I thought it did.
No, it doesn't. Not necessarily.
So con save.
It will if you put it on there as a concentration. You probably just need to create a Moonbeam concentration program to drop on yourself.
Perfect. Made it.
Okay. But more to the point, if I'm maintaining a concentration save, I can cast something else on my turn and still keep it going.
There, I put it on you.
Did you need to do that? No, that's a save, not an ability check. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So it's not disadvantage.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, she's going to dash.
She knows we're out here at this point.
She knows she's taking advantage of whatever is going on. Okay, so she dashed 30 feet. As I say, she ran 15 and then dashed another 15. Same thing. Marten. No Yetis yet. There's a halfling.
Yep. They try to speak to the halflings, like, what's behind you?
I hope not Yetis. She's...
Okay, where's the other one?
I don't know.
But
Out.
not here in the cave. Okay.
Based on our luck, about 3 rounds away.
Yeah. Crap.
I've actually already rolled at how far away that other Yeti is.
I was thinking about crossing the bridge and trying to get a bead behind the Yeti, but certainly not going to try to cross it while he's on it. She's on it. So I think again I'll just kind of hold action, see if there's a Yeti that pops out.
You could also, if you want to go across it, hold your action to dash across. Use your dash action to go across it once she's off of it.
No, that's I'd rather ready an action for attacking if something comes up. So while I'm primarily looking across, but the same type of thing is behind us. So if I see a Yeti coming up behind us, my ready action will shoot either way.
Ooh. Do I get to make a death save?
You have made a death save. Well, you've taken a death save.
Oh, what?
It's
It
greater
rolled
than 10,
for
but
me?
he's made it.
Yep.
I think it automatically does.
It does.
Oh, so it automatically failed it for me. Excellent. Okay.
Why don't you fail your first one? Bummer.
We always remember. That sounded creepier than I intended it to.
Interesting enough, I'm going to go ahead and make me a Constitution save. Because
Who?
your body's still functioning. You're just
Mhm.
unconscious and on your way out.
Yeah, right, yeah. I mean, you. So
The,
that's
the warm
success.
embrace of death is going to thaw him.
Just his body
So now
As it
maybe Suzza
tries
can
to-
pull him out.
drag its way up to life.
So I changed the fail to the success.
Uh,
No, that was a con save on his paralyzation, I think, or on his
Yep.
frozen.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
So I'm thinking Suzza might be able to move him now.
We're about to find out.
He's a lot less stuck to the floor, it's true.
push comes to shove. I
But
can
that's
do
that's
it.
pretty much I was gonna say that's pretty much Kraanan's turn, though, right?
Yeah.
Yep, continuing to try and drag Kraanan back. Just strength again
Yep, with advantage.
with advantage.
Yep.
Clicked on advantage. Oh, you! It was on a 19 and it rolled over onto
I
3.
saw that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I'm pretty sure it's not actually using a physics model for rolling the dice, so
They're working on it,
anything
though.
to get you.
It's supposed to be. Actually, I think it's supposed to be, but
I'm
So-
sure
so
though
I-
that someone spent a lot of hours coding the dice to roll like that just so it could do something like that. And
Yeah. So I drag him like half an inch, maybe.
I'm gonna let that be a bonus action if you want to take a regular action. And a move action, because you weren't able to move him.
Okay. Well then I'm gonna come around to this side of him, so I can actually see what's going on.
Alright. There's a
so
Yeti.
so you two can be frozen by the Yeti. Great.
Yay! And I will. Let's see. I'm probably going to Eldritch Blast. Let me make sure. Yep. So I will Eldritch Blast it. Oh, that hit.
Warlock is using Eldritch Blast? Say it isn't so.
Hey,
Say it ain't
You
so.
did okay
Joe.
damage,
Say
right?
it ain't so.
Yeah.
Hey.
And it's force damage, which is one of those things
Yeah.
that's hard to find things that resist.
Showed up. And it's the one blast, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Then that's me.
Okay. She moves up.
I sort of love the fact that our front line that's still conscious are the casters.
Yep.
Casts a firebolt for maximum damage at the Yeti.
Nice.
And then moves back this way.
Yeah, who says the casters are fragile?
Okay, let me go and adjust something on the Yeti now that it's taking a particular flavor of damage.
Oh, great. Now it's going into super bad mode.
Wait, it's got a bloodied state? I thought we weren't playing 4th edition.
It doesn't have a bloodied state. It has a I'm scared of fire state. As those who were in front of it can tell, it was more scared than just hurt by it.
I'm sorry, did we frighten you? What a silly thing for you to do.
Okay, so It doesn't actually have exhaustion, but exhaustion level 3 works the same as that effect, so stand in. Alright. Next turn, Shadow.
Before Shadow does anything,
my,
I kind of hand gesture to him to see if he wants to maybe try to sneak behind.
No, because there's meat shields up this way. I kind of hope to pull it out of the cave a little more into a little more open space and pinning it in a bend, but it seems to be.
Yeah, well, party members kind of
I
warped
was
that one,
trying.
didn't they?
Let me finish moving here.
Sure.
All right, now I'm done. And then I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay.
And I could sharpshooter it.
Do we?
Sure, what the heck? I'm gonna use sharpshooter. That tracks.
Well, it wouldn't have mattered either way, right?
Well, probably not. Probably was only. Actually, I think I rolled a 4 at it earlier. So, yeah. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, Mika.
All right. I am first. Let me make sure I've got them selected on the tracker.
Currently you have nothing selected. No one selected.
So do I have to select them on the map? Maybe I have to. Do I have him? Do I have
If you
Kraanan?
hold control and left click token, you'll target it.
Okay. So I should have Kraanan selected.
You do.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm targeting the right person. And I'm going to do a heal effect. Healing word. On Kraanan.
Welcome to consciousness, Kraanan.
Yeah, you don't have a cure wounds.
Not memorized. Sorry, I had to pick one, and that one's Darian, given our kinds of circumstances.
That's fine. I just know that a cure wounds is touch range and does more, but I know that a healing word is arranged. And,
Yeah.
So no worries.
But beyond that, I will. I guess try and stab with the spear.
Okay.
At the.
You could do a cantrip.
Or bonfire it.
No, because I got a concentration on.
Oh, that's a concentration cantrip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can
bonfire,
still cast another cantrip, maybe not the bonfire. But
just not a concentration one.
I need the concentration to maintain the moonbeam.
Right.
Yeah, but are all your cantrips concentration? That's the question.
The only cantrips I have are Druidcraft, so I shape trees, or Bonfire.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. No, I normally I would agree, but yeah, in this particular situation, I will use my spear against the.
You still have Kraanan targeted, so.
Oh, come on. How about now?
There.
Now you're on the Yeti.
I just
Yeah, thanks for not killing me again.
did it.
Right? I was just messing with you, man.
Yep. You down?
Did
Hit
I
it.
get him?
Yep.
Hit him.
Yay!
You used the ranged attack instead of the melee one, but it still hit, so whatever.
Okay. And just roll damage.
One One-handed or two-handed? That's the important question when you're dealing with a spear.
One-handed.
So it'll be the one that does D6 piercing.
3 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And on its turn, it needs to make a save against the
Moonbeam.
Moonbeam.
Right. So when you pass your turn, go ahead and drop the save on it.
Okay. And I will...
Okay. Do the damage to it.
Yay! I only meant to click that once. Sorry.
Hooray!
Let's see.
Yes. Good job.
So it's
That was my bad. That
I
was my
fixed
bad. Okay.
conveniently, it does tell us how much it overkills by, so I can adjust the math.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Still, it can't have much longer on its feet.
Shadow, evens or odds?
I like the odds.
Okay.
Kind of fitting because he is kind of odd.
So. Did I forget? Did the Yeti gaze at you, Suzza?
Nope.
It has not yet beholden the beautiful glory that is Suzza.
Well, now it has, and you're immune to the gaze for an hour.
Take that, Yeti.
Cause it Mika, who takes some damage and loses concentration on Moonbeam.
Oh,
Does
dear.
anyone remember the wonderful movie Caveman starring Ringo Starr? Because that's what that token looks like to me.
I was kind of hoping he'd share the full-size picture at some point.
It auto rolled the concentration effect.
Yeah. Alright, and that hits you again. Pretty hard. Alright, this halfling. Are you going to impede the halfling's movement?
I'm not necessarily going to impede the halfling, but I'm going to say, stay close. We'll protect you.
Okay, in that case it'll move to there. And get a sanctuary on itself. Marten, speaking of which,
All right, I should have done this last turn, but my inventory. There it is. I'm going to take one of these spikes, since I don't have a piton offhand. I'm going to spike it into the wall there, and I'm going to tie off one end of the rope.
okay,
And the other end of the rope is going around me, and then I'm going to start crossing this ice bridge.
okay,
And I'm not done moving, but I want to move to there first.
okay. I'm going to take it that you need to be able to see for your next 10.
Yep. And then I'm going to go ahead and advance a little bit. And one more. Okay, and then I'll ready an action for again Yetis. But other
Okay.
than that,
You're going to shoot
So
a
you
Yeti
still
if you
have-
see it?
Do you still have an action after doing the pit and tie-off thing?
I don't know.
Probably not, but
That's
we'll put
fine.
you there for the now.
don't actually have a piton, so it's just an iron spike. But yeah. Oh, and yeah, it's fine. It's good.
Pass your turn.
Let me end it.
Kraanan, you're prone. There's a Yeti right in front of you.
Yeah, I'm not frozen, right?
You are not frozen.
Okay. So I come to consciousness. My hand is still up in the air because I'm partially frozen.
Yep.
I'm like, is my beer okay? And then I jump to my feet.
It's nice and frosty.
You jump to your feet, so I take prone off you.
And then I'm going to start wailing on this thing.
Okay.
Let's see. Here goes my unarmed strike. Uh-oh. I had advantage. Oh, okay. And should do sneak attack. Oh, that was a lot of damage.
It does.
What was that for?
A lot of
Okay.
ones.
Yeah, but it was a critical though. So
It was enough.
It's
Okay.
because the Yeti had taken fire and it hadn't come around to ward off yet.
oh, okay.
Anyways, you stand back up and
I kick it again.
dragon punch it back down.
I'm confused why it's DPGG.
It's a coding thing. How it does
Okay.
some bonus stats.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how the P's and the G's work either, but
The P and the G is referencing the color of the dice.
Ah.
I think.
that makes sense.
So I think D is just whatever your dice color is. And then P is purple, G is green. But those are representing different things, right? So the purple is representing the sneak attack dice, the added damage from the effect, and the green is representing the critical hit damage.
Okay. Kraanan, what are you going to do with the rest of your turn? You were accurate in that you did, in fact, get up and lay it down.
Excellent. I'm like, ow. That hurt. And I'm just
Yeah.
gonna stand there for a second.
Hey, the Yeti's down.
Dropped it.
Yes, but you're gonna say that.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yep. I don't know if you could hear me all the way over there, but
Well, that's kind of the question, but that's all right.
yeah. And I'm done.
Pass your turn.
Well, I don't. Okay.
Where's the pass the button thing? The pass turn thing is gone?
We'll find it.
No,
Might have
I mean
to-
it used to be
it
right
might-
there. Not there anymore.
Reopen the combat tracker, maybe?
Oh yeah.
That's weird. So, am I aware there's another one?
I
can't
did say
see
there
it.
was a big one and a little one.
Ah, okay. Ah. I guess we have to kill the little one too.
Don't have to.
You know what? I'm coming back this way. Because I know there's a big one behind us.
Well, we think there's one somewhere behind us. Yes.
And then I will hold action based on whatever happens.
Okay. She's going to move here and hold her action in case of Yeti. Firebolt.
Well, I'm gonna waltz in here like I own the place and find the other one. Move there, and then probably there. Seems reasonable. I'm done moving.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me perception.
Yeah. I do also have dark vision if it matters. I don't know how much light's actually in here.
They're really whatever you all brought with you. You don't notice anything. Just a bunch of snow and ice all around.
Oh, that's great.
I think Sergeant Woozle was the only one that didn't have dark vision.
Oh, really? That's kind of funny. I don't see anything, huh? Cool. Well, in that case, can I get myself a Yeti horn?
Yeah, you can start to do so.
Sweet. Yeah, definitely starting to do that.
Okay, Viorica's reaction goes off.
Yay? Why does it go up? Oh, yeah, I don't see it, so I'm.
Well, she's firebolting that halfling. It's evil.
No, but you can actually move to see if you can see it.
But yeah, she definitely she says Yeti and then shoots a firebolt off down the hallway.
Oh, good. I was afraid that she had gone insane.
Well, one doesn't
Well, that's
necessarily
totally
preclude
off
the other.
There.
Sanity is overrated. I have a question. How did that Yeti ever get in and out?
You can squeeze a certain amount. That's how.
They're like mice. They can just kind of flatten up and move.
They are that fairy race that they're trying out now. That can squeeze through a single inch.
No, they just turn. You can squeeze down one size.
No, that's.
All right. It moves forward. It stares at Suzza. It doesn't
Didn't
do anything.
Suzza have a ready to action?
What was your ready to action?
Pretty much Eldritch Blast.
Okay, go ahead and Eldritch Blast the Yeti.
Notice he said, "Go ahead and Eldritch Blast it, not miss." There you go.
Hey. Yeah.
So now we're going. Hold on. Mouse.
I was gonna say I already went.
Mika.
Dad's home.
Move there first. See if I can see it. Can I see it? I cannot. I can't see it. So I'm just going to strategically place
Let me know if that opened for
Oh,
you.
it's a good little Yeti.
You're the only one who's seen it, so that's what it looks like.
Cool.
I'm going to strategically place a bonfire in the entrance, so it'll have to cross through the bonfire to get in. I can't see it, but I can at least place where the bonfire there.
You can see see what I just fired towards, so that gives you an idea of where to put it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just don't put it on the halfling is all.
Why is it giving me such? Okay, that.
Okay.
I'm placing it there.
Okay. That's good enough. I'll eventually figure out how to share tokens with players one day.
And the map closed. Of course it did.
Weird, the halfling's token doesn't show up on the stream map.
It's because she's out of line of sight. Because it doesn't have line of sight. There. We'll use yours for the stream. There we go. Still is, but it's better. Alright.
But yeah. If it comes through, they'll have to walk through my fire. So
Alright, pass your turn.
alright. Where's the there it is. Okay.
Okay. She dashes in this case. Having run into a fire.
If it helps, Alex, if when you move tokens, if you hold Alt, you'll get the same distance and movement behavior as a player.
Cool. Alright.
I find it helpful for moving things because I can see it does the math and measurement for me.
Yep.
I found the other Yeti.
It springs out of the snow right at your feet. Slashing at you.
Oh, it's a widow.
Oh. Just rub it in. For those who didn't get to see it now that it's out.
Aww.
Alright,
Can we
Marten.
keep it?
I'll not hurt it, obviously.
Don't not hurt it. Gotcha.
Don't hurt it because it's cute. We do not kill cute things. That's the rule.
You don't
Unless
kill
they try
cute
to, unless
things.
they try to kill you.
Which it's currently
Well,
attempting to do.
Well, it's not trying to kill me. It's trying
Well,
to kill
it's
Shadow.
Yeah, it's attempting to kill Shadow. And it's the same size as Shadow.
Now you can also, attack it to what does it call it? Restrain or disable or whatever, where you don't actually kill it, but you just knock it unconscious.
Non-lethal attack.
But it was trying to kill a nice fluffy bunny
And a halfling. Just
and a
slowly.
halfling. Yeah.
Don't forget to untie yourself unless you're going back across.
Well, not yet. I'm gonna move down here first.
I'm not
down.
putting phase Yeti in. That's just right out. Chat. They've really got enough going on.
All right. So I'm gonna ready in action in case you.
I don't know. I'm all for
fire.
audience participation. Do they have a suggestion?
Phase Yeti.
Phase
Run
Yeti.
away. Run away.
Ah,
We could take it.
So I'm gonna come back down here a little bit, ready in action in case I see the Yeti.
Okay. Finish your movement. I'll approve it.
Just stay right there.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a stroll, see what's going on. 5 feet, step in. moving?
It didn't show me your move.
Oh, well, I tried to move, and again.
Odd. Oh, I see. Sorry. There we go.
Okay, so I step in, I see that thing, and it's attacking him.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so then I berserk on it, and I'm going to charge forward.
Okay.
Go nuts on him. Kick? No.
Slip.
I'm going to spend a key point, take 2 more attacks. 16 is a hit. And then here is my other kick. And that's a hit. And he is dying by 5.
You're
So
supposed
that
to
would
get
have.
sneak. You're
I'm
supposed to get
not.
sneak attack twice. Yeah.
No,
okay.
you're not. But it's automatically going. So
And normally a rogue only has the 1 attack, and that anyway.
yeah, it screws it up.
But I can just subtract it.
It's probably dying anyways. So
yeah, it's unconscious.
Yep.
Were you lethally trying to hit it, or were you non-lethally?
Oh no, I was lethally trying to hit it.
Okay.
So that thing freaking messed me up before. So I'm done.
Suzza.
Well, that thing didn't. The other one did.
Yeah, and it grows up into one of those big nasty things.
Yeah, but you have an opportunity to train it.
Another Eldritch Blast.
Since you're gonna make him an orphan, you now can just try to raise him yourself and turn him into a pet.
Yeah, my pets always die.
Oh, you're one of those.
Or you could take him back into town and try to sell him for a bunch of gold, because I'm sure somebody would love to have a Yeti pet.
Oh, that's right, gold. We need gold. I always forget about
I'm
that.
not necessarily one of those. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I know.
All right, so Viorica max damages this Yeti with fire as well. With her firebolt. So I'll check this on it.
Somebody should try talking to the halfling, see if there's anybody else that's alive.
Okay, Yeti. Let's see. It'll move up here. It'll stare down Marten.
Is it not afraid of the fire?
It hasn't crossed the fire
Well,
yet.
It's babies on the
Well,
other
it
side
doesn't
of the
have to-
fire
it doesn't have
too.
to-
So
Cross the fire to necessarily be afraid of it.
Well, it's also already got hit by the fire. Just a second ago. So
Well, which begs the question: if it got hit by fire, is it not afraid of it? In which case, it doesn't have those bad things associated with it. What is the range on that stare attack, anyways?
actually, 30.
Okay, I'm counting 35 myself. Anyways, okay, that's fine.
All right. Shadow.
finished getting a horn.
Sure.
The Yeti
Yeah,
tyke
yeah.
is down, right? So yeah, I'm gonna finish getting a horn.
Mika.
Mike is muted.
Hey, hang on. One other important question. How did the Yeti see me?
Let's see. Right, because you have dark vision thing, right?
I am invisible to normal dark vision detection.
There we go. That'll do it.
This will be fine. This will be fine. It's fine.
There you go.
The good news for Micah is that now that the Yeti didn't use its gaze attack, it's all queued up for him.
I am immune to the gaze attack for an hour.
Unless it's creature specific.
No, it's Yetis, excluding abominable Yetis.
Is this an abominable Yeti?
No.
Okay.
So the next question is, would that Yeti know that he's immune to that to its
Absolutely
gaze?
not. We can just assume that he came down and got stared at, and it just didn't work.
Nice.
But I do seem to be stuck because I'm not quite to where. There I am. Okay, that's better. All right.
Yeah, for some reason, Fantasy Grounds these days has like this weird thing about putting people in an actual square.
Yeah. And now the aura is working, by the way. It wasn't working for a little while. Now it is.
Okay.
What's working that wasn't?
The bear's aura. The auras weren't working for a little bit. Now they're working fine.
And I'm going to use my second level spell slot to cast Moonbeam again, because I do not want to fight another Yeti.
And your campfire and your bonfire.
Yeah, my campfire goes away.
Okay.
If you want to get rid of the drawing, or do I have to? I may have to.
No, GM should be able to do anything. But...
Okay. Anyways, I will cast on the Yeti.
Okay.
The Yeti looks to have made its save, but... Oh, wait. I did that early. I shouldn't have rolled it. It's on its turn, if I remember correctly. Yeah, sorry. My bad.
We'll get it when it comes around.
But I placed the Moonbeam on it.
Okay. Pass your turn. Or move. If you
Yeah.
Or bonus actions. Alright. Yeah, yep, she's happy where she's at. Marten. Saved by your invisibility.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take a couple shots at it with my bow, which then he can be able to spot me, I suppose. Oh, wait.
I'm gonna laugh if that Moonbeam ends up being wasted.
At least it's movable.
Yeah.
Okay, I am first going to double check this. As a bonus action, I am going to cast Hunter's Mark on the Yeti.
Okay. Let's see.
And then I'm going to take a couple shots at it.
Hold on a second.
Or
Let's see.
a shot at it.
Hunter's Mark, if custom, Hunter's Mark. Okay. Before you roll damage, there should be a Hunter's Mark effect for the creature. That's like affect Hunter's Mark.
They actually throw it on myself, and it just adds the D8 to the damage. So if I roll the damage, it should just automatically do it.
Let's see.
It's the way they've got it coded.
Sounds right.
Huh.
So yeah.
There should also be a well, maybe you might have to
So
program one
it's-
in, but a concentration check for Hunter's Mark.
There.
Yeah,
That probably
well,
will do
it
it.
should be. It should be as well. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know why it didn't do that because like I say,
Okay.
the
That's what I
effect
thought.
says it's just self. So
The way it codes is if custom Hunter's Mark
Right.
damage 1d6 blah, blah. So if it has the Hunter's Mark on it, the effect, which isn't on there for some reason, it will do that damage because that's the same way Hex works. We'll
right. Okay. No, that's fine. I'm just looking at the way that they actually have it coded. That everything is self as opposed to target.
Right.
So that's what made me think that way. But that's okay. I'll just roll another.
There's just one
D6.
effect that's not in there that
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah, I get it.
Right.
That's a D8. Just drag that additional damage too, if you would, please. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I think. No, that's what happened. So I clicked the wrong one. That's what happened. Okay. Well, anyways, it's fine. Just drag the damage on it.
Okay, you rolled the additional damage
I
die.
rolled it. Yeah, I rolled a D8, which is wrong. It was a D6. I was reading the wrong one. I was reading Dread Ambusher as opposed
That's
to.
fine.
Yeah, no, and then that'll be my turn.
Okay. Nothing's going on in here, right? So I'm going to run back out. See what's going on there. That's 40. A full movement.
Looks like you're ending your movement in somebody's.
Oh, I couldn't see around the corner. Yeah, my bad. Ooh, a Yeti.
It's about to have a bad day.
Yeah. I'm
It's
gonna.
already had a bad day.
Can I see him?
Well, if you click on yourself, it should tell you if you see him or not.
Yeah, I think it's a
Well-
little bit too around the corner.
Oh yeah. I mean, he shows up for me on the map, but like for
Right,
like
but what
line
I'm
of
saying
sight
is-
reasons.
No, but that's
You
what I'm
cannot
saying.
see him.
If you click on yourself, it should show what your line of sight is.
Yeah, I click on myself and it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't
Does
change.
it? Do you have a red circle around your token?
I don't,
Okay, click on yourself again.
and still no red token.
So if you click on a
Okay, there we
token,
go.
there'll be
Never
a
mind.
circle around it, and that'll show
Yeah.
you what.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you don't have that, it just shows you everyone's combined.
Yeah, I just couldn't get that stupid red token on there again. Anyways, I double clicked on it and it popped up. I'm just gonna draw my bow and ready in action. I guess I don't see anything else going on. I guess I'm done.
Okay. Suzza.
Okay. Move forward. And hit. And do a little bit of damage.
11's not a little bit of damage at 3rd level.
Okay.
But, right. Seeing no reason to move.
Is it its turn?
It's Viorica. Who might totally kill it if she hits it with fire.
Who hits it? We're just shy of max damage that time. Meaning I can leave that effect on it.
You've been
And
sleepwalking. Why is kicking out?
it'll stare at Suzza to no effect.
Stick my tongue out at
But
it.
it
Moonbeam.
gets to do the thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hit the moonbeam.
Moonbeam. Yay. Oh. Oh, it failed.
Yes, it did. It
And
burns
not
up by the light of the moon.
Yeah.
Ah.
I was afraid that would be a wasted spell, and then I would be sad.
I'm gonna loot the room.
Okay. There is a dead mountain goat. That's what the Yeti and the lower Yeti has. Let's see, the upper Yeti.
I'd still say somebody talk with the halfling and see if there's anybody else we need to rescue.
So she tells you she doesn't know. She's pretty sure her Goliath friend is gone, and she
Oh
doesn't know
yes,
it.
he's dead.
Is this him? Point to the head.
Oh, no, no, no,
Yes,
no.
that was him.
I'm actually busy looting the room.
She
I'm
cries
gonna
a bit,
point at it.
and but I don't know where Asterix is. I think she went up as opposed to down.
All right. Well, I'm going to come back across the
see.
bridge.
There is a parcel. I'm just gonna chuck this, what you find in there, into the party sheet.
Cold weather clothing if anyone needs any. I think at this point we all have it though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Asterix went up where?
We have an
And I
explorer kit
up.
and a mess kit. Okay.
She,
I
We were-
untie myself and I recover
we were
my
attacked by,
bike.
well, one of these Yeti, and let me find his name. I keep forgetting it.
Is there anything else in this cave to explore?
Me and Maniko ran down the hill, or the path, and she ran up.
Oh, further up the mountain.
Yep.
Not in this cave.
And that's what you can find in the cave. Other things I put in the
Alright.
party sheet.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and take a Yeti horn as well. Why not?
Okay, well, I guess we can go get, somebody can go get Garrett and Boy, and we can kind of camp out in the mouth of this cave instead of out in the.
How many Yetis live in this cave?
You are still pretty sure 3. Well, 2.5.
Well, there was a halfling living in here with
The-
under Yeti torture, so
Though, in retrospect, you probably there's probably been a patch update making it 0.
That's right.
Right.
Okay, so where's Kraanan?
Here? But I mean, I'm not the only one that's hurt. So
No, but Micah should be able to take care of himself.
okay.
Not
Yeah.
to be rude.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But do we want to finish checking upstairs first, or?
I got the impression that we've seen the whole cave.
Thank you.
Other
That's
party
kind of what I
members
understood as well.
out
'Cause
the path.
This cave has been explored to the best of your ability to do so. Though
All right.
I think some of you might have mining picks, but
I given that, yeah, I agree. Camping out here to recover some more, so that we are no longer exhausted, and then head back down.
Well, no, she said one of the party members actually went up, but we're still missing a party member.
I thought you said we hadn't checked upstairs, that we didn't need to.
No,
Up the mount.
up the mountain,
Oh,
up the trail, not into the cave.
okay. There's some stairs off to the side. That's what threw me off. So,
Right. Yeah. That kind of goes up to a little ledge that you can kind of see down into the main room where they were at.
okay, cool.
But that looks like that's probably everything because as best as we can tell.
Okay.
I mean, again, I'm not opposed to necessarily resting here, but at the same time, it's like the longer we wait, the less likely of a chance we'll be able to rescue the other person.
I agree.
Now we do have a good point that maybe we bring Garrett and Boy up, and maybe he and the halfling can kind of stay here while we go searching for the last one. But what does the party want to do?
Yeah.
I think we
let's
should
let
get Boy and the Master up here, and then probably put a pin in it for next time.
Yep.
I'm going to recommend whatever you're going to do, you can get done in the time remaining.
All right, then let's go ahead and head up then.
I mean, again, I'm not opposed to necessarily maybe at least a short rest before we head up, but a long rest is just another 8 hours.
Yeah.
And we can't do another long rest, so.
Well, you can't do another long rest to recover stuff or be fully healed, but you can. I think you can still do a long. I think as far as getting rid of exhaustion, I think it's just an 8-hour period, not necessarily technically a quote long rest.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong on that.
Well, there's nothing that prevents you, unless something comes up and prevents you from taking however many long rests you want. Just you might start running out of food and
Well,
all
we're
that
just
good
gonna
stuff.
try and find that other.
Well, yeah, I think technically in the player's handbook somewhere it's like you can only take one long. I mean, you can only benefit from the effects of one long rest every, what is it, 16 hours or something? Like
No, 24 hours. It's once a day.
24 hours. Okay,
Yeah.
But then again, hey, up to the DM.
So,
Well, the DM is hinting we should go up the mountain and find the last person.
Yeah.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do that.
Yep. Definitely.
okay.
And get Boy and Master in here.
Okay, so why don't we do that? Why don't we try to get Boy and Master up here, and then the rest of us will head up the mountain, try to find the last person, and hopefully return back to the cave.
Well, I'm gonna give you all a short rest. So take advantage of the short rest. That's say spend hit die.
Oh yes, I'm definitely spending hit dice.
Recover things if you can get them from a short rest.
I didn't even get hurt. Yeah.
Spend as many hit die as you need.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend all of them. What the hell? I've got 1 hit point.
Why is it reducing my hit points?
It's probably reducing your wounds.
Okay. The way it shows up, the hit points, it looks like it was temporary hit, like what my current value versus max value, and it was dropping, and that was throwing me off. Okay.
Yeah, I don't particularly like tracking wounds either. I like tracking hit points, but that's how I used to play, and that's why.
Yeah.
So I understand there might be some sort of an add-in from Rob Toohey that actually
There's an extension
tracks
that I
both
have that
wounds
does it.
and hit points, but whatever.
All right. So, short rest. You get Boy and Barrett up here, and then you continue up to see if you can find what you can find above. To that end, you come to the edge of a vast and deep crevasse, with nowhere to go but down. A collapsed tent lies half buried in the snow near the precipice. Jutting out of a nearby snowbank is a pair of blue leather boots. Next to this group display, a figure in cold weather clothing sits in the snow, her knees pulled tight to her chest. Horns protrude from underneath the figure's fur-lined hood.
Hey. Anybody have a climbing kit?
Yep. I think.
I could improvise one, but I don't technically have a climbing kit.
That's
I do.
true. I don't.
I have one.
I have a climbing speed.
Okay, well, somebody can throw down the climbing kit. You can use your climbing speed and run down there and see if she's still alive.
No. I think you've misunderstood. There is what you come to in a camp. On one side, there is a tent, the side you're on. Then there is a giant, deep crevasse on the far side of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking you were saying the tent was basically down at the bottom of the crevasse.
No.
Ah.
If you wish to go beyond the camp, you would need to climb down the crevasse.
Nope. Well, we'll figure out some way
The person that's shivering in the cold is on this side, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's who we're looking for.
So yeah, we'll go check on them.
Okay.
Are you alive? Can you move? Can you speak?
Do you want to buy a pie?
I sort of hate the whole line of conversation. Okay.
So do we, Jeets.
And I will actually break out a sprig of mistletoe and cast Goodberry.
Okay.
And give one of the berries to the shivering cold person in front of us.
Explain. How exactly do you do this?
Well, the impression I got from the description is they are still alive and shivering in the cold. Is that not the case?
As you come up to do so, that is not the case.
Okay.
But they were doing that.
Yeah, they died about an hour ago.
Yep.
Wait, hold on. When you say they were, so are you saying that they were shivering up until the moment I stepped forward?
No, they were shivering until they eventually died of the cold.
Okay. In that case, I don't give them a good berry.
Searching the rest of the camp.
They're actually dead.
Yep,
Yeah.
they're frozen in place, staring at a pair of blue boots.
Okay, well. Anything salvageable?
Actually, I'm going to look at the boots. Is there anything in particular odd about them?
They're attached to someone.
Someone buried? No. They had their knees.
I feel
to
like
their
I'm missing
chest.
part of this description here.
No, they were sitting down with their knees to their chest, shivering, looking at their boots.
At
still
their own
wearing the
boots.
No, no,
At their
Okay.
own boots.
no.
Okay.
They're
That's the
the tiefling, enrobed, is down with her arms around her legs, looking straight forward at a pair of blue boots that are sticking feet up in a bank of snow.
so somebody else's.
Okay.
Okay.
Are whoever's wearing the boots, are they dead?
Well, let's dig them out.
Dig them out, yeah.
Okay, you dig out a shield dwarf.
Oh.
And he's all there except for his head.
Oh.
Well, as I said before, anything salvageable?
There's some blue boots.
I mean,
An empty wineskin, a half-eating block of goat's cheese, and a miner's pick. And
Well,
a spellbook on the tiefling.
Well,
collect it
give
all
that
up.
to Viorica.
Collect it all up. Leave the. I don't know. Can we actually bury him here, or do we just want to? I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful to him, but at the same time, there's no reason for them to be chow for any other Yeti.
Yes.
We could
Necessarily, or at least make it easy for any other Yeti. So, do we bury him? Do you just chuck him in the crevasse? What do you want to do? The tiefling, I think we should take back, or at least some form of identification for him. Just say, yeah, they're dead.
Let's take both of them down to the cave at least, so that the fellow that we came here to save can tell us what he wants to do with his friends' bodies.
Yeah, and maybe restore the head to the dwarf.
Because it's down
so it's a dwarf. Do I recognize what clan he's from or where he's from?
there. He is a shield dwarf. You recognize that much. Let's see. Not particularly.
Okay. And shield dwarves are what? Mountain dwarves, game wise?
If I'm not mistaken, they're hill dwarves.
Oh, hill dwarves. Okay.
They're the most common ones you're going to run into. All right. Well, that's going to wrap us up for the evening. I give you all a long rest. So please feel free to check us out on DDO.com for checking out Dungeons & Dragons Online, and FantasyGrounds.com for checking out FantasyGrounds.com, which is the tabletop, virtual tabletop. What's the second T? Anyway.
No, it's virtual
The
table.
table
top.
and top.
Yes, that would be it.
They do it with 2 letters, but that's okay.
That we're using, and you can use it for free as a demo user and connect to someone with a ultimate license, and they can share their books with you. So feel free to go give it a whirl. We were using specifically the Unity version, which has a few more options like the dynamic lighting, which soon will have light radiuses incorporated as well.
Is the classic version actually still available to purchase and download? Because I think Unity is now the default version, anyways.
I think
I know if you have
Unity
classic,
is still
you
in
still have it,
beta,
but I don't know if you
technically.
can. Yeah, I don't know if it's still available.
That's a good question because I did have a problem updating my classic just recently. So
I would say my understanding is Unity is still in beta, but if you're going to buy Fantasy Grounds, buy Unity.
I believe it's actually out of beta, because what I recall is they said, okay, we're officially out of beta, and this is now the default version of
Yeah,
Fantasy
well, there you go.
Grounds.
that's what I'm seeing.
In either case, get Fantasy Grounds Unity because it's better.
Yeah. And it's going to continue getting better. All right. Well, we'll start with the goodbyes, starting with Shadow in the Trees.
Yeah, this is Patrick from DDOcast. Check out DDOcast.com for our weekly news and discussion podcast about Dungeons and Dragons online. And tune in next week for D&D Night, where I'll be DMing the Oracle of War.
Suzza.
This is Lynn from EDO Sundays with Alex and Lynn. And I'll be seeing you again next week for Patrick's game. And also, you can check us out at eldritchentertainment.com or the amethystdragonfly.com.
And Mika.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah McCoy. You can find me on Twitter as Tech Noir, on my website, jeremiahmccoy.com, or you can find me on TikTok or Twitch as Basics of the Game.
Marten.
Yeah, this is nobody in particular, but I go by the moniker of ComicRelief. So, yeah, have a good night, guys.
And Kraanan.
Pretty much the same. I don't do a whole lot. Playing a bunch of these D&D night games, though.
All right. And also check us out check me and Lynn out on the amethystdragonfly.com, as well as Eldritch Entertainment, as was mentioned. And we appreciate it, and we will see you next week.
Night, everyone. Thanks for
Night.
joining us.